Welcome back to the Momentum Sports Podcast. There is no way that Colorado makes the college football playoff. Derek, today we're going to talk about those Colorado Buffaloes. And they have made me look silly. They keep on winning. They are at 6 wins. I could have sworn there was no way they were getting more than 6 wins, and here we are at 6, and you still got 4 games left. Congratulations to Colorado. I was also one of those people that was like, hey, I want to see it before I believe it. I am going to put this out there. There are no ranked teams on their schedule. So congratulations for winning the games that you need to win. That's good. At least you're not losing games you shouldn't lose. But let's be honest here. If this was an SEC schedule, this was a Big Ten schedule even, some of the Big Ten schedules. We'll just say an SEC schedule outside of Texas. Outside of Texas' schedule.
Have a rank. hey, Texas has a ranked Vandy.
You are right. Okay. If this was even Texas's schedule, Colorado would have more than 2 losses. And so this schedule does include 2 losses, it does include a loss to a ranked opponent. Kansas State is ranked. They also have a loss to Nebraska, who right now Nebraska is 5-4. So, that was week 2. So teams are very different from week 2 to week 9. I think that was, or we're on week 10 now, right? So week 10, going into week 10 versus going into week 2, very, very different teams. So I'll put that out there. But they do have a loss to a ranked opponent. No wins against any ranked opponents. They go into Texas Tech. Texas Tech just shocked the world by beating Iowa State, I believe it was. Yes, Iowa State. And that was on the road at Iowa State. And, a 1-point victory. Good for them. I did mention Texas Tech was not going to be an easy game. You refused to believe me. You thought that Texas Tech was trash. I still hold to my original point that Texas Tech will crowd that stadium, will show up loud, rowdy, and ready to go. And I still do think that Texas Tech will win this game. And this is Colorado's chance to prove me wrong once again by showing that they can win against competitive teams like Texas Tech proved that they are last week. So I think this is a really big game for Colorado to really prove doubters wrong of going like, hey, we're not going to lose any games where, that we have the opportunity to win. Like that it's like, hey, I wouldn't be surprised if you won. This is their chance to win those games too. Because if they do drop this one, the Colorado haters are going to come out strong and they're going to attack Dion. They're going to attack Colorado and all that. Derek, the floor is yours. What do you think of Colorado so far? What do you think their odds against Tech and the rest of the schedule?
All right, first of all, Colorado got lucky. Everything's going their way. Okay, the one thing I said is that the only way Colorado makes the Big 12 championship if Iowa State loses twice
Yeah.
or BYU loses twice and Kansas State still has to lose. Well, guess what? Iowa State just lost a game that I didn't see them losing to. And Kansas State lost in the same week. Oh my gosh, now you have to worry about that tiebreaker because guess what? Kansas State has more losses.
Yep.
But now you got one more test. It's a lot better test than what I thought it was going to be
Right.
because all you have to do is hope Iowa State loses one more game
One more
and
game.
they have to play. And that Kansas State is the more likely chance that Colorado makes the playoffs. I'm not the playoffs of the Big 12 championship. Now, Colorado has Texas Tech. I still think they can beat them. I still think Texas, Colorado could win out. But here's the thing: even if this is the one scenario that might screw up the playoffs, if Colorado wins out, gets in the Big 12 championship,
Yeah.
beats undefeated BYU, there is no way they're making the playoffs. And let me tell you why. And I'm not saying they do have a chance to make playoffs, but in this scenario, there is no way they make playoffs. You
Yeah.
still have Army, who's unbeaten right now and ranked ahead
Yeah.
of you. You still have Boise State, who's one loss and is ranked ahead of you. If Boise State and Army wins out, you're not making the playoffs. And let me tell you why. Boise State only lost a 1-pointer against
Yeah.
Oregon, the number one team in the country.
Yeah.
Uh, they will be. They will not only get the conference, conference championship bid into the playoffs.
Yeah.
They will get a bump into the playoffs because he will be the top four. Uh, uh, they'll be the top four conference champions, and the fifth conference. You think, oh well, that's going to go to the Big 12. Nope, I'm sorry, but the fifth best conference will be the American because Army went on to beat Notre Dame the last game before the American Championship to play Navy more likely,
Yeah.
and they would have beaten Navy who Navy just got out of the rankings, but they're right there coming right back in. They should go back in the rankings later on when that
No,
game
no,
comes on.
no. Take a look at Navy's
Look at the
record real quick. I think you
you look at
missed.
the
Did you
receiving.
see their game last
No, no,
weekend?
no. Their game. Well, you look at the oh yeah. Either way, either
they're
way.
not. They're not coming back into the rankings.
Well, they lost to Notre Dame, right?
No, look at their schedule real quick. Pull it up. I guess you missed last weekend because it wasn't a
No, no, no.
televised. It
I don't.
wasn't. Look and see who they lost to. Say it. Say it.
They lost one. Oh, but they're still in the.
Say it. Who did they just lose to?
They lost to Rice.
Oh my
Okay, yeah, they're
gosh.
not. They're not coming back in. But they're still going to make it into the championship because Memphis still has 2 losses,
Look
and
here.
then they win.
Look, here's the thing, man. These army schools or combat schools, whatever you want to call them, because I know Army is separate from Navy, Air Force. They're not getting into the playoff. Navy lost
Well,
back-to-back
well,
games, including a
here's
game to Rice. It's
here's
not happening.
here's the thing. I'm trying to tell you the scenario. It doesn't matter where Navy's at. It matters that Army Notre Dame game. And I
Yeah.
don't believe they're going to beat Notre Dame. If they do beat Notre Dame, then Colorado wins the Big 12
Yeah, but
championship. There's no
it's
way.
just it's not happening. Notre Dame is winning.
But listen, dude. It's not, if this scenario happens,
Yeah.
Colorado will not get the fifth conference championship. They will not be at a
So
large spot either because of their 2 losses. And it would go to Army, who would get the fifth conference champion, the fifth best conference champion.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. There's no way Colorado will make the playoffs if this scenario happens.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying it will.
that's an unlikely scenario.
I'd love to see it happen.
Okay, yeah,
I
but it's an
really
unlikely.
do.
So let's see a scenario where Colorado would get in because I'm still on that right now, and especially since I think Texas Tech is probably going to win this game. But let's assume that Colorado wins this game. They win out. BYU, that is going to hurt them from getting into the playoffs. If BYU ends up being in the undefeated, Kansas State's going to get in there and play BYU in the Big 12 championship. Kansas State has
That's
to,
true.
because here's the thing, Kansas State beat Colorado. So Kansas State now has one Big 12 loss,
Nope.
which is to BYU.
Nope.
So they have to lose one more game. And then on Kansas State's
They already did.
schedule,
They lost last week.
they did. You're right. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Two of them went down.
That's why I said
Yeah.
That's why
Mhm.
I said they have a better chance now
You're
if we
right,
get
you're
into
right.
the Big 12 championship.
So
So it's gonna
now
be
Kansas
crazy.
State has two Big 12 losses, and then Colorado has one Big 12 loss. So
Mhm.
Colorado would get in over Kansas State if they went out. So okay, here's the thing.
But they still have to hope Iowa State loses
Well,
too.
oh, that's right. But who would win the tiebreaker to get in? Iowa State or Colorado?
Iowa State, because I think the Big 12 they go by ranking.
Let's say that Iowa State loses. So let's put Colorado in the Big 12 because it is a possibility. In the
Oh,
Big
it's
12
very good
championship.
play.
So if we're in the Big 12 championship, if BYU is undefeated, that hurts Colorado because they are not going to. If Colorado beats BYU, it's probably going to be a super close game. Colorado wins at the end. BYU now has one loss. Colorado has two. I don't, even in a super close loss like that, I still feel like you have to put. Well, Colorado would be the Big 12 champion overall, right? Because they would only
Right,
have one big. Wow, that'd be
it's
a
the
really
top five.
interesting. Because you could put Colorado above BYU, even though BYU only would have one loss, right? Because Colorado
Yeah, you only
would
have
be
to be observant.
they would be the undisputed Big 12 championship because even though they have two losses, they only have one Big 12 loss, and then they would have given BYU one Big 12 loss. So that would make them the undisputed Big 12 champion. So the undisputed Big 12
Doesn't matter. It
champion,
doesn't matter if they have. Here's the thing: it doesn't matter if Colorado has two or one Big 12 championship, one loss. If they make the
yeah,
championship and they
they're
win the
in.
championship, they're in.
They're in.
Yeah, that's if Army doesn't lose. That's if Army loses to
Wow.
Notre Dame.
I can't believe we're here, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
just talking through it all and just seeing reviewing everything that happened last week. Last week was perfect to have this conversation. Like everything that happened last week, it is the perfect time. We're recording this on a Tuesday. It is the perfect time to have this conversation, um, because it
hmm
really is likely. So I'm gonna change my original
as
comment.
for as for filming this, they haven't came out with the committee rankings yet. So
Yeah,
we have no idea what the committee's
we're
doing right now.
we're
We don't
definitely
know if
gonna
they're going to be ahead.
we're definitely going to have to do a reaction to that. And I'm just going to real quick, and then I'll let you kind of finish your scenarios, Derek. But I'm going to change midway through this episode. I'm going to change my original thought of there's no way that Colorado gets into the playoffs. That Colorado, if you win out, you're in the playoffs. And it's up to you. Your destiny is up to you because this is a very giving schedule compared to other teams in the Big Ten, the SEC. You've got a real opportunity here to get into the college football playoffs if you win out. And this schedule is not going to be too hard to do it. Anyway, go on, Derek.
Happy, be happy Texas is not in the Big 12 anymore because Texas is the one that's
Oh, yeah.
yeah, they would defended their title and all that.
Right. So, Derek, do you have anything? What is your likelihood? Let's scrap the Army argument here real quick. Let's just Colorado. Do they make it to the Big 12 championship? I think you already said they do. Do they win the Big 12
It's
championship?
Penn State. That's if Iowa State loses. That they do. But do I
That's
see
right.
what? Yeah. If they do make it, I think Colorado
God, there's so many
will beat
variables.
BYU. I think Colorado can beat BYU. I don't think they came across with a quarterback like Shador Sanders yet.
So, Iowa State plays Kansas State at the end of the year. So,
That's literally a playoff game for Iowa State.
right, exactly, cuz if Kansas State wins that, and Iowa State's at home by the way, if Kansas State beats Iowa State, they just did Colorado a huge favor. If assuming Colorado um, wins out. Now, if they don't win out, Colorado doesn't win out, and then Kansas State beats Iowa State at the end, there's going to be all sorts of chaos in the Big 12. The Big 12 may get
Kansas
very
State would get
chaotic.
the. No, that would still be a playoff because if you look at the standings, it would just be K State and Iowa State
Yeah,
fighting for that spot.
right. So it's going to be interesting. Wow. It might be really interesting for you Colorado fans out there. Derek, is there anything else that you want to add? Any scenarios or just any what do you think? Do you think it happens?
I think they can beat BYU. I think Colorado could get in the playoffs because of the dynamic of Colorado that BYU has not seen.
Mhm. Well, we'll just have to see what happens. It'll be interesting. Congrats to Colorado for proving a lot of us wrong. I'm
I
not
mean,
I'm not against them winning. It's just I've wanted to see it before I started calling it. But they're doing it, and we'll see if they continue to do it. And they have a big opportunity to make the college football playoff. With that, we will head out of here and head to the next segment. If you haven't already and you're new to our videos, this is your first time seeing one of our videos, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and throw a comment down below for us. What are your thoughts on Colorado? Have they surprised you so far this season? Do you think they've got a shot at making the college football playoff? And hit that notification bell by the subscribe button as well if you want to be notified whenever whenever our videos post. And if you're a Longhorn fan, give a horns up for Derek down below. If you don't like the Longhorns, like most of us don't, throw a horns down for Derek down below in the comments section. With that being said, the Momentum Sports Podcast will be heading out. We will see you guys in the next episode.